Welcome back to Tetrakan Super Monoblock. Another quick video today to do with troubleshooting playback or recording, whatever kind of multi-track recorder you have. If you've got a problem with playback or recording, then one of the things you want to do is eliminate the magnetic heads from being a problem. Magnetic heads on Portastudios and other multi-track recorders don't tend to be the critical issue that they can be on reel-to-reel machines. On reel-to-reel machines you can get lapping and you can get a lot of wear on these things because it's high tension tape. They tend to be used in professional environments, so hours and hours each day, speeds of 15 inches per second, 30 inches per second for larger 2-inch tape machines. For a cassette, it's low tension. It's either 1 7/8 of an inch per second or 3 3/4 inches per second. They haven't been used as much usually because they're in a home environment, so I haven't encountered a worn, or lapped magnetic head. But what I have had happen is that you've got a broken coil inside. So this is a precision metal casing that has 4 isolated coils of wire inside them, and then those coils radiate a magnetic field, and the fluctuations in that magnetic field are an analog to the sound, so that's how it gets onto the tape. So if that coil breaks or the wires to it break, then that can cause problems. Occasionally for older machines like 244, I've had whatever the adhesive is that keeps the coils inside this metal casing, that's gone wrong, so the coil's still intact but it's actually coming out of the base. But anyway, here's a quick way that you can test for that and eliminate your record playback head, that's that one, or your erase head from your diagnosis of your erase or playback or record problem. If you look at the cables that come from the magnetic heads, it's going to vary from unit to unit. This is a Porta 7. Some designs you've got all 4 channels on one connector. Sometimes it's split across 2 connectors like this. Sometimes there'll be 4 of them. But you can follow it back to the head, and for each channel of each head, then there's going to be a pair of wires. The white one's going to be the positive and the black one's negative, essentially. And that's joining to the 2 ends of your coil. So then you put your meter into continuity mode and you get a couple of dupont breadboarding wires. You can get like a dozen of these for £1 or something on eBay. Push them into the holes on the plug and then you can test for continuity. So when I hook up my meter to this, then I know that there is a complete and intact coil inside that head. So for that channel, the head isn't the problem. So say you're getting recording on channels 1, 2 and 4, but not channel 3. Figure out which one of these is channel 3. I'm not actually sure whether it's the blue or the red one here, but let's say for argument it's the blue. Then I would push these into these 2 sockets and see if I get a beep, which I do. That would then tell me that that section of the head is okay, therefore the problem I'm having with that channel lies on the recorder amplifier or playback amplifier or the mixer channel for channel 3, and then I would proceed to use some sort of process of deduction and a combination of first signal tracing and then debugging with a voltmeter once I would honed in on my problem area to find whatever the dodgy component or dry solder joint or whatever it was that was causing the problem. Anyway, I hope that was somewhat helpful. If you've got any questions or if anything isn't clear, then leave a comment, and I hope to see you again soon.